Welcome to the Positive Productivity Podcast, episode number 16.
Welcome to Positive Productivity Podcast, where we empower our audience to achieve and appreciate personal and professional success, especially in the face of adversity. Listen in as our guests reveal their stories of challenges and hurdles and how they overcame defeat and became triumphant in their endeavors. Let's get motivated and move forward with your host, Kim Sutton.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on Positive Productivity. This is Kim Sutton, and today I am thrilled to have Suncana Selimovic. Did I get that right? I'm so bad.
You did. No, that's great.
Okay, great. Joining me today. Suncana is a yoga tune-up teacher, and upon speaking with her a little bit further, I love this. She's a health and body nerd who helps powerful people become body smart. I would love it if you would expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, so I teach, yoga tune-up as well as other modalities, and it's movement-based therapy, basically. I work with quite a few athletes and things like that, and they're already very, very, very powerful. But a lot of the time we don't, and myself included, when I first discovered this method, I didn't realize that there was so many things that I was doing that I thought were quote unquote easy. In turn, I was just compensating with my strengths instead of knowing where I should be focusing, where my weaknesses were, so that I could turn that up a notch and become a little bit more balanced so that I could avoid things like injuries. And that doesn't just apply to athletes, that applies to people everyday life, even just people that work out at the gym or even people that don't. It's overuse injuries a lot of the time that are the most common ones, and overuse is a compensation most of the time. So if you can't do things evenly and you don't know where your body blind spots, as we call them in yoga tune-up, are, you can't really fix them.
Oh, and that plays right into the small business and entrepreneurial community.
Oh, for sure. So many people that I meet are so excited to do things like lift weights, and because when you exercise, you get such an influx of creativity and things like that. But then if you end up sidelining yourself because you've not really figured this stuff out and you're not in tune with your body, so you're not body smart, you don't know your body connections, and then you sideline yourself for 2 weeks, it's very hard to get back. And I personally find that my creativity and all that stuff goes right down the drain when I don't get any movement in my day.
Exactly. And I'm thinking about it more, and I'm loving the parallels, though, between knowing how to get your body in order and take care of yourself. And I know that, especially for the people that you're working with, the diet needs to be good. I'm not saying that they can't have junk days, and proper care of themselves, including sleep. And all of that is coming right into small business owners and entrepreneurs as well. I cannot say that I am good. I can't even say I'm great because I can't say I'm good at that.
Well, we all have hiccups, right?
Yeah, we push ourselves so hard, though, and athletes as well. When they're trying to achieve greatness, they'll overextend, not thinking about the consequences later down the road.
Oh, 100%. And the other really big component of yoga tune-up is that we have a hashtag. It's called self-care is healthcare. And it's all about taking care of yourself and being able to downregulate and upregulate your body and create that resilience. When you want to jump out of bed and go and do things, be able to upregulate yourself to go do them. And then when you want to calm down for the night and want to have a good night's rest, or, you're getting a little bit of an anxiety-induced situation, being able to downregulate when you need it so that your body isn't in like a constant state of fight or flight where it's just losing its shiza the entire day.
Oh, can you expand on both of those more? Both the rising up and the winding down?
Yeah, so basically you want to do, in a very simple term, but obviously a lot of other things contribute. Your breath in and of itself is like a regulator of your body, and you can downregulate or upregulate. So you have two different nervous systems. You've got the rest and digest and the fight or flight. What I find personally with athletes, entrepreneurs, all of those people, we tend to spend, because we want to be creative and we want to be on the move and we want to do all this stuff, we tend to be in this fight or flight state all the time. And that means our body never gets that safe feeling. And eventually that's where, things like burnout happen. Or, how many soccer players do you watch just in the middle of the field end up ripping something in their body that, you thought, like, he's done that a million times and there was nobody around him. And that's kind of the way that things happen, is because we burnt out our bodies and we burnt out our muscles and their abilities to do what they need to do, and we haven't fixed those weaknesses, and we've never given them proper rest. So then once we can teach people to use their breath to upregulate and downregulate and connect into things like their vagus nerve, which is a big downregulator, it creates so much opportunity for people. And then once they need the upregulation, they can then get into that fight or flight mode and get into that creativity and that movement a lot quicker than when they're just constantly in it.
So what would you say is the best recommendation for somebody who is in fight or flight mode in dealing with anxiety? To, like, what are some immediate steps? Like, do you have any that you could share with us?
I always, all of my personal private yoga clients, yoga tune-up clients and things like that, I start most things with the breath. So your inhale is upregulating, so it makes your heartbeat speed up, and your exhale is downregulating, so it slows down your heartbeat. Obviously, barring any serious complications. And so then what I do is I try and teach people that in the morning, a faster, more in breath is really a good way to wake yourself up. And at night, trying to lengthen your exhale so it's twice as long as your inhale right before you go to bed, barring everything functions properly, should put you in that rest and digest situation. And even before you eat, and even before, just whenever you're having downtime, make sure it's real downtime. And then from there, I work on things like in Yoga Tune-Up, we use Yoga Tune-Up therapy balls, and I work on massaging the neck and things like that. And the belly as well is a big access point for the vagus nerve, which is downregulating. So yeah, those are the main things, connecting with your breath, because so many people don't even know when they're breathing because it happens so automatically. I always tell people that your breath is your number one thing. Your body knows once you stop breathing, you're kaput. So it will compensate in any way, shape, or form to allow you to breathe because it wants to keep you alive. Our bodies are so resilient, especially people that sit at desks all day, every day. You're crunching the front of your body a lot of the time. There's proper sitting posture, but even that still shortens your psoas, which is connected into your diaphragm, which messes with your breathing. Yeah, breathing, walking, variety of movement is kind of what I start with people. And it doesn't have to be aggressive. You don't have to go around a 20K, even just a 5-minute walk every hour, or getting a standing desk and switching between standing and sitting instead of just sitting all day.
I am sitting here monitoring my breathing and trying to sit up straight. So
that's good.
Thank you.
So we're getting somewhere, right?
We're getting somewhere, yeah.
And that's what I think people really need to understand, is that you need to get in touch with your body so that you can understand what's going on, and when there's shifts happening, you can know that something's happened instead of just waiting until your body has to send aggressive signals. So people that have really bad back pain because they sit all day, every day, and they roll their shoulders forward and they're constantly internally rotated. And when you think about the amount of stuff we do, how often are you palms facing up and your shoulders back unless you're very mindful? Not very many jobs. You write with your palms facing down. You drive. Most people don't hold the steering wheel on the bottom of the steering wheel. They hold it on the top. You shift gears, your palms down. You eat. palm down. So there's just very, very few palm up activities or drops. I mean, you type, palm down, all of that stuff. So trying to reverse a little bit of that in order to get your body to function a little bit more properly. Because I personally didn't understand. I mean, I played sports and all those things growing up, and I didn't understand that. And it was mind-blowing when I figured it out. So I want to get more people to blow their minds, you know?
That's awesome. So when do most people come to you? Is it when they're trying to be proactive, or do a lot come after they've faced some type of scare and they know they need to change their life now?
It's kind of a 50-50, to be honest. And a lot of it, to be honest, is, I mean, people don't, Yoga Tune-Up is growing rapidly, and it's a big, wide brand, and it's awesome because it's such a cool modality. But a lot of people get really scared off with when you say yoga, because they've done yoga once before, and it was just a lot of either really floofy, which people don't necessarily like. I mean, I don't mind the floofy portion of it, but there's a time and a place for it. And, you know, if you get into a group of professional athletes, they don't want to hear about their heart melting to the ground and connecting to their solar plexus chakra. They want to understand how that's going to affect their game and what's going to happen. So either because of that reason, or there is, and I think yoga is making that shift where we understand that not every pose is for every body, and not everything should be done the exact same way, and there's movement things that some people just can't do and stuff like that. But the amount of people that have gone to yoga as a result of something like back pain and then worsened it is actually shocking. So what ends up happening is people will talk to me and I say, you know, I teach yoga tune-up, and people are, whoa, I went to yoga already and I hurt myself. And so then I kind of have to work in, and that's why most of the time I say that I teach movement, because it's a lot more user-friendly for every angle. And I mean, people a lot of the time stumble upon it by accident, and then they realize, which is awesome, because that is what I did too, where I stumbled upon it by accident and I realized, whoa, had I continued doing stuff this way, it would have just been, I mean, my body would have broken down in T-minus 1 month. Yeah, that's kind of where it kind of comes in both areas. And Yoga Tune-Up is getting recognized now, where actually there is some naturopaths and physios and things like that that are actually suggesting that as more of a care after things. But, I mean, it takes time to make that shift in the society.
I have to confess, I haven't tried yoga because I have 2 left feet and I can trip getting out of my chair. I'm just a natural-born klutz, so I was always concerned about doing any of the poses and falling flat on my face.
Well, there's a lot of different approaches to that. I mean, obviously, I'm a little biased, but
right.
I would say try and find a yoga tune-up teacher. I mean, there's over 400, I think, by this point. So we're pretty prevalent in most areas, and in North America anyway. And yeah, I mean, a lot of the time, I personally thought the same thing. I mean, I ran and played sports and things like that, but you put me in like a choreographed anything, and my feet are going, and I kind of
right.
really realized that that was actually a lot of lack of awareness in my feet. And modalities like Yoga Tune-Up actually try and teach you we try and what we call proprioception, gain proprioception, which is knowing where your body is in space. So if you close your eyes and you stick your hand out in front of you, you're not sitting there going, lost my hand, I don't know where it is. You know where it is, but we're trying to do that on a smaller scale. So even with feet, we're trying to get people to be able to spread their toes and be able to drum through their toes and move them around so that they understand what's going on down there instead of just carrying your feet, because that actually ends up causing you a lot more energy loss when you're walking. So even walking can become easier by establishing the little muscles in your feet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I mean, I would love to be a speaker someday, and I know that I'm not trying to not be positively productive, but I have a fear of walking up on stage and tripping, right? I think a lot of people may have that same fear. So I've honestly already pulled up the Yoga Tune-Up website, so I'm going to have to take a look.
I'm glad. Where are you located? I might know like a good teacher near you. Not that they're not all good. They're all
Right.
good, but I just mean like ones that I've personally connected with and I actually have seen their work.
I am actually near Dayton, Ohio, so Southwest Ohio, not far from Columbus or Cincinnati.
Okay. I will have to get back to you on that because I will have to look and see who's in that area, and if I know anybody, I'll connect with you on Facebook over that. But yeah, I'm sure there's somebody there. I mean, there's 400 teachers, and I think maybe 30 or 40 of those are not in North America.
Right.
Yeah, so there's got to be somebody somewhere. If you have an Equinox, do you have an Equinox by chance?
I do not.
Oh, okay. Equinox and 24-Hour Fitness, I think, is the other one, actually run steady yoga tune-up courses.
Oh, we do have 24-hour fitness, though.
I believe 24-Hour Fitness, it's a newer thing for them, I believe. But yeah, I think they run steady at least once a day yoga tune-up courses, from my understanding. We don't have those in Canada, but...
So you said that most are in North America, but I know that you're traveling back and forth to Germany. So tell me about that and how going back and forth is impacting both your life and those of clients in Germany.
I am the only yoga tune-up teacher in Germany, which is really exciting because Jill Miller, the owner of Yoga Tune-Up, just came for a huge 600-person summit in March. So the awareness of Yoga Tune-Up is growing rapidly, which is wicked. As far as myself, Yoga Tune-Up balls, heaven for flights. I don't end up with, because we travel so often, I always used to end up with back pain and things like that. And now that I bring my balls along, and I'm that weird person next to you that's just like rolling around on Yoga Tune-Up balls, and people are like, well, what's she squirming in her seat for? But I end up not having back pain, not having sciatic issues. It's awesome. And then as far as clients and things like that go, it's still a growing brand there, but it is rapidly picking up speed, which is pretty wicked. And I'm hoping that by September next year, fingers crossed, I will be teaching the ball certification. So they have kind of two different sections of Yoga Tune-Up, where one is, balls are involved in all of them, but one has more focus on exercises and strengthening and things like that. And then the role model method specifically is to do with the balls. So I'm hoping to be teaching fit pros and personal trainers the Yoga Tune-Up, the role model method with the Yoga Tune-Up balls. So that's kind of the plan for next September. Fingers crossed.
That's awesome. Congratulations, and I wish you all the best on making that go forward.
Thank you. I'm excited. It's a really exciting time to be in this field because I think we're making full world shift towards understanding that what we've been doing isn't working. So we need a little bit more awareness in our bodies.
So how do you see mindset and yoga or Yoga Tune-Up going hand in hand?
Oh, it's huge. Just empowerment all on its own, bringing someone, even like myself personally, where, I thought I had, to use the previous example, 2 left feet. And then I realized that it was just lack of awareness in my feet and lack of knowing which muscles are working and lack of proprioception, and walking out of that being like, wow, I can actually, if I get a little bit more slide and glide between my muscles and my joints and I get a little bit more fluid in there, I can actually run faster. I've been a runner my whole entire life, but I can run faster and without as much dead weight carrying me, dragging me down. And it's just so crazy because people do come in with the mindset of, I need somebody else to fix me. And once they realize that they can do their own thing and they can fix themselves, obviously with limitations, there's always going to be use for doctors and chiropractors and PTs and all that stuff. But within limits, having the power to within themselves feel things and change things, it creates a whole different mindset shift, which is what I'm kind of after.
So I found that when I get out of my house and I'm working on an idea or trying to get a product out or do anything for clients, when I'm sitting at my desk, let me back up a second. When I'm sitting at my desk, I can get into this mind funk where everything seems blocked. And then I realize that when I go out and I start moving, I start getting ideas. So I have to carry a notebook with me. But it sounds to me like participating in yoga tune-up would free my mind, free my body for more.
Yeah. Isn't that like mind-blowing that can actually make that much of a shift in your business and all the things that you do? I mean, being able to create those we talk about it metaphorically as like creative juices, but realistically, our entire body is like we're 70% water, something ridiculous. So being able to get those juices flowing and all of that right circulation where your body doesn't have to think about like, my back hurts and this is like, why can't I feel this toe? And that's all happening on a very, very small scale where we don't even realize that our body is kind of stressing out about things that we don't understand. And then once you get the movement going and once you get that, blood pumping and the lymph nodes moving and all that stuff, you can actually end up creating a much bigger change and a much bigger difference in your business, but then also affecting other people past that, right?
That's huge.
Yeah.
And this is probably not totally appropriate, but I'd have to find, a little pen that I could put into my bra or something so I could write down my ideas right after class.
That's so, I do a lot of my own, obviously, classes and things like that where I teach myself a class or I kind of move where my body wants to move. I don't necessarily go to a teacher all the time. And like even this morning, I did even just a set of like a constructive arrest, like a shavasana at the end of, and that's where a lot of yoga gets its super huge benefits from, is being able to actually give yourself permission to shut off. But after shavasana, I like popped up and was like, oh my God, I have like 10 ideas to write down right now. So yeah, have your phone right by you, have whatever to get those ideas out there because that's what we need more of, right?
Right. You've totally inspired me.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's what I'm here for. Woo!
I can hear my husband thinking behind me that I should go check out the yoga studio that's downtown in our little town.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he said he already said it.
Yeah, but it's awesome because you're getting so much more out of things and it's just mind-blowing to me because it even still shocks me. I mean, I've been doing this for years and years now, and it still shocks me every time it happens where I've like been blocked for maybe a day or so and I only did, like a quick movement practice the day before and whatever. And then I just get on my mat and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do like a full hour, not going to pay attention to anybody else, anything else. I'm just going to clear my mind, get myself right. And then right after Shavasana, I'm like, oh my God, where's my notebook now?
That's great. So, Suncana, where can people find you if they want to work with you or to find any of your learning materials?
I have a website, bodyconnectionobsessed.com, which is where I blog. There's a few blogs that go up a week. I've got a really cool series, actually, where I ask fitness professionals and health professionals to write out a day in their life. And there's like 15 or 20 entries on there, maybe a little less. And yeah, it's kind of a cool thing because you kind of look through it and you see health hacks that you're like, whoa, I didn't think of that. And then I also write about muscles and anatomy and things that will help us there. I'm coming out fairly soon with a newsletter core crunch series, I call it, which is going to be a lot of focus on, a lot of things originate in our center. So different core activities and core exercises and awareness that aren't in a traditional, let's say, boot camp class and things like that. And then January will be the release of my full core program. And yeah, I'm also on Facebook. You can always find me there, and Body Connection Obsessed as well on there.
Fabulous. And all these will be in the show notes.
Yeah. And I'm just all over the social media. Suncana BCO is my Instagram as well, because I do like my pictures.
I think that will be so powerful in your industry. Like, that would be a channel that you would definitely not want to ignore.
Yes, exactly. And I mean, I just really like pictures. I'm like a serious picture hoarder. I'm that person that messages somebody when they only post like 4 of the 35 pictures they took, and I'm like, I know they're all probably bad, but could you send me all of them? I just want to see.
I love it. Usually, I cannot say I'm the same way. I just want to see the ones that look good.
I mean, I'm not going to post them, but I
right.
see. And you know what?
Right.
It's just that other person doesn't look good. Maybe I could crop you out. Mm-hmm.
Right. I didn't even think about that.
I'm just kidding, but I do. I actually really just love pictures. I think in another life, maybe I would have been a photographer or something.
Or you can have some fun photoshopping them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Putting masks on people or something.
Yes.
I don't know.
Oh, I just got Snapchat as well, so that's just another thing that I'm very much in the learning stage of that. I think I mentioned earlier that I'm really, really not tech savvy. So yeah, I'll be figuring that out over the next few months.
That will be fun. I haven't even ventured into that yet.
I know. I see all those people with the cat ears and the dog ears and all that stuff, and I wonder, like, But there's quite a few people that I really respect and really like as far as health and fitness goes that are on Snapchat. So that's kind of why I decided to venture into it and see what it brings. New tidings this way comes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same as why I tried out Periscope or am trying out Periscope and hope to get into Facebook Live soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to start doing some videos as well. That'll come with the Core Crunch series.
That's great. Well, as more comes out about the series, let me know, and we'll be updating the show notes. But for all of you listeners, you can visit thekimsutton.com or look below for the show notes and click through to where you can find Suncana and learn more. And I just want to thank you so much again for joining me here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's been awesome. Yeah, I'm inspired now.
Thank you so much.
I'm about to go call the local place to sign up.
I'm super excited you're going to do that because I mean, that's what my mission is really, is powerful people like yourself to help optimize their lives and become body smart and, just become obsessed with yourself. There's so many people that are looking at, and this is a whole other topic, but that are looking at like Instagram pictures and all that stuff. And they're like, oh my God, she's so beautiful. I wish I could just get inside yourself. Let yourself work yourself out, And yeah, that's what I want.
I think we're going to need to bring you back for another episode just about that.
Just so I can rant a little bit about that, eh?
Yep, exactly.
As I say, so Canadian, eh? Well, thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun.
Hey, this is Kim Sutton, host of the Positive Productivity Podcast, and I just want to thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed what you heard and you want to share with others, please feel free to do so. I'd also appreciate your comments, your reviews, your ratings, and you can do that on iTunes or Stitcher, or even by clicking through to my website at thekimsutton.com and just leave a comment down below the podcast. I also want to invite you to send me questions at any time that I can address on one of the future episodes. To send me a question to address on a future episode, just visit my website at thekimsutton.com and click on the contact tab at the top. Again, thank you so much for listening to this episode, and I wish you a day filled with positive productivity.